Hi, my name is Michael Becker, and welcome to today's mCordis Mobile Thought Leadership Series. And with me is Tony Pearce from GRABR, who has developed a solution that enables brands and marketers to be able to develop and then own their own communities, which seems to be, and it appears to be, an increasingly important part of the overall marketing mix for brands to be able to really take control of how they're going to be able to engage and interact with consumers in the future. So with that, I'd like to have Tony explain to us, what does it really mean for a brand to own their communities, and what does it mean and what type of results that they can get from it? So first and foremost, let me welcome Tony to today's call. Tony, thank you for showing up.
Hello, how are you?
Hopefully you had a good holiday season.
Yeah, very good, thanks. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Back to the cold London weather.
Exactly. So with this in mind, can you tell us, how did you get started with GRABR? What is it, and how should brands be thinking about it?
Well, GRABR actually is an evolution of Games GRABR. So just to step back a bit, I'm from the games industry, have been for the last 10, 15 years. I've started 4 companies, successfully exited 3 of them, all of those being in games, previously video games and then mobile games. And then along came Games GRABR, and the main purpose of Games GRABR was to build the world's best social network for gamers, a place where a gamer could come on, almost browse and just have fun discovering all types of games. And that could be anything from mobile games to video games to Facebook games to videos to YouTube videos to trailers, and just to meet other gamers with similar interests. And this the social platform launched about 14 months ago and has grown incredibly quickly to become a very popular place for gamers to hang out. And we've been called by the press a sort of cross between Pinterest and Facebook. The Pinterest being the fact that it's very visually driven, and the fact that you can curate and collect all your favorite games from around the web into one collection. And our system puts you in touch with other people with similar interests and allows you to contact those people and then discover games through the community. And that idea of building a niche social network in games has opened the doors up to larger brands approaching us going, listen, we love your platform, but we're not in the games industry, but we're looking at moving away from the bigger social networks such as Facebook and Twitter to really run our own platform that is just targeted to the people that love my brand. And so we've suddenly found ourselves in a very enviable position of owning a proprietary technology that we've built, which is called GRABR, which is the platform that runs Games GRABR. And now we're able to license or stroke white label it and actually put anything over the top. So in other words, we can now have, as examples, wine GRABR, or food GRABR, or fashion GRABR, or car GRABR. And that could be owned by a brand that wants to build a social network and, more importantly, understand what their customers like and dislike. And that's the key thing, because with Games GRABR and us owning the platform, we therefore own the user and understand what they like and dislike. And we can contact those people that have an intent to purchase or have done something on the platform where we know they would like to see a product come through. And that's something that's quite unique and something that you will never get from the likes of third-party platforms.
So that's very interesting. So part of what's happening is, as we move forward and looking into the market, marketers can start, quote unquote, owning the conversation within their particular domain or field. And so this is just, in some respects, not just a platform for social communication, gamification, interaction with consumers, but it's actually an ability for them to be publishing content and to be driving conversation in a meaningful way that makes sense for their brand. Is that not true?
Right, absolutely. So I think what annoys consumers right now is being followed around the internet with an advert of a product that they either purchased or a holiday that they went on 3 months ago. And that's because the social platform is finding relevant people, but not knowing if they've actually had the product delivered to them, or they've been or gone and purchased that product. What we're able to do, because the user is on our platform and is building collections and is talking about what they like, we're able to analyze that and then send them promotional marketing or advertising directly to them based on the fact that we know they want something. So as an example, you might have on GamesGrabber a games collection called Games I Want, or my favorite wish list. In fact, over the Christmas period, there was tons of collections called my presents for Christmas. And inside that collection, the user is curating all of their favorite content and then sharing that collection with their friends, with their parents, with just saying, I want these as a Christmas present. So we're able to see that. Now, that kind of data is incredibly valuable because we know that that user has indicated that they would like FIFA football as a Christmas present. Well, we can now send them an email going, thanks for joining GamesGrabber. We see you like FIFA football. Here's 20% off the next game, by doing a deal with the publisher. You know, it's all about giving users advertising and marketing that they clearly want, not advertising and marketing that's going to annoy them. And that's the key about this.
Well, and is it really advertising and marketing in its truest sense, or is it opening up a dialogue and a conversation with the people that you serve? And
right, it's that, yes. So it's now being able to engage with the user directly, which again you cannot do. You might have a Facebook page on Facebook, right? And you might have a million likes, right? But the problem is, and what's occurred very quickly over the last 12 months, is that the brand owner of that page now struggles to find the people that like that page. And what the organic reach of Facebook is almost now zero unless the brand pays for it. And that's totally unfair. I mean, brands might have probably spent hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, creating a really amazing brand page on Facebook and send out a post on Facebook to find that no one actually sees it unless the brand pays for it. Now that I find quite amazing. You then have ad blockers appearing all over the place. In fact, on the iPhone in Europe, certainly in the UK last month, the #1 downloaded app for the iPhone was an ad blocker. So brands are now being bombarded left, right, and centre. They can't contact their fans on Facebook unless they pay for it. They send out an advert, it's blocked. There's just walls all over the place. So they're now looking at creating their own platform, and hence we've already got one. We've proved the KPIs work. We've proved that people engage with GamesGrabber. We've proved that people come back, and we've proved that you can start a conversation and reward those users directly with products that they want.
Okay, and what's interesting too is as you were talking, what kind of came to mind as well is GRABR doesn't necessarily yet need to be another network out in isolation. So if a brand were to use GRABR to create for lack of a better term, a content and social channel to which they can own, manage, and establish a interactive dialogue with their consumer, that platform, that experience they're creating doesn't sit in isolation with everything else that they're doing. They can still leverage Facebook and Twitter and Snapchat, but now that they can do what, and mCordis we often refer to as establish what we call an owned media causeway. Use all your paid media channels to drive the conversation to your own channels, and then you can amplify the value that you get from that paid media by leveraging into that own channel. Would you agree with that?
That's exactly right. I'm certainly not saying never use Facebook to advertise on. Facebook to advertise on is a fantastic platform, but it's expensive. It costs a lot of money to target the right people, and hence that's why brands started their fan pages, but now that's becoming a pay-to-play situation. So everything is costing far more money for you to hit your market. What we're saying is, don't stop that, because advertising directly to your consumers is fine. But with your own platform, it doesn't cost you anything, and you're seeing exactly what your users are doing, and you're having a direct conversation with them. So I'm not saying stop other social platforms, but use your own platform as a way to save money and own your users. Own the relationship with the customer. You will never get an email address from Facebook ever. So you don't know who you're advertising to, apart from it fits in a demographic. Here on GRABR, you will get the user's email address, their name, their country, what they like, what they dislike, their preferences. You're targeting them with stuff that is really relevant and stuff that they should be, very happy to receive.
And actually, you use the word targeting. If I understand what you're telling me, though, you're not really targeting to them, you're responding to them.
It's a bit of both, actually. So you're seeing exactly what they're talking about, what they're liking, what they're disliking, and you're responding to that, absolutely. But you're also analyzing the bigger picture and therefore targeting specific promotions that they would like to see.
Okay. Fantastic. So just to kind of wrap up, so what going forward, looking into 2016, assuming somebody wants to start thinking about this concept of creating their own community, what are the 5 or 6 or 5 things that they should be thinking about doing? Obviously, one of them is call you for sure. But outside of that, from a more strategic perspective, what are the things that a marketer should be thinking about to be able to really kind of get started with this new and really innovative idea?
Niche social networks will be the big thing over the next 2 or 3 years. And I really do think that any marketeer, any brand owner needs to look at how they own their own audience and how they understand their customers and engage with them more directly. I mean, as I mentioned, ad blocking and Facebook organic reach is now taking over and is causing big problems. I think generally, this year and next year, I think it's all about visual and video content. It's predicted that by 2019, 80% of all the content on the internet will be video. I mean, that's massive. So I think you have to look at as much visual content as possible. And I think just being able to create and share content with your friends in a very easy way is another thing that marketers need to look at.
So let me ask you one more question. Why would somebody want to participate in a brand's community? Or what would entice a consumer or an individual to join a GRABR-powered community than, say, a Facebook one?
I'll give you an example of GRABR and why that's been so successful. And if you compare GRABR to Pinterest, gamers wouldn't be seen dead on Pinterest. Right? It's just not a platform for gamers. Gamers want to go to a place where they can hang out and meet other gamers. And I put that in the same way as many other brands. They want to meet like-minded people. They just want to be in a social network that they can talk about their geekiness and why they love the brand and why they love certain things about it and what they want, what they like, what they dislike. And I think that's where people are going now. I don't think they're going to mass social networks.
Okay, so they're going to find those outlets that speak to them and service their needs, not just the generic platform.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic. So last few seconds, if you had any final remarks on this kind of concept of the ability of a brand or a marketer to be able to begin to own the communication, what would you encourage them to do? What do they start doing tomorrow if they wanted to start moving forward with this concept?
Well, if it's regarding GRABR, as you say, just contact me. There is a website called grabr.co.uk and it has a very high-level information on that. It's very simple. The platform now is ready to go. It's built. So you can have your own social network up in literally 2 months. You can be seeing data come through. You can be seeing analytics. You can see insights on your customers. And you can build a great community. And that's the key thing.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Tony. And hopefully this is not the last opportunity we have to talk to you on this topic. And if you don't mind, we'd like to invite you back in a couple of months and see how things are going.
Yeah, for sure. No, I'd love that.
All right. Thank you very much.